Morning, guys. Mark Fresh, Foot Tech Dog Training, and Big Boy. Up, push. No, good boy. Good. I just got him out of the back of the truck. Yep. All right. So the last video we did, it cut off. Hopefully this one won't cut off. About 4 minutes. I like to do my videos about 8 to 12 minutes, somewhere in there, maybe a little longer, depending on if I push it. No. Good. Up. Good. Good boy. Push it. Nope, nope. He's a little wonky. He's been out in the kennel. He's starting to get, his frame of mind is changing now that he's getting used to being in the kennel. Yep. And he's a little flat. I think he's a little wonky because of his teeth, to be honest with you. Cushion. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good. There you go. Now, the main thing we're going to show today, again, is we're going to go back to our same subject we were talking about, reward placement. Yep. Good. I apologize for the sound of my mic. It's not working. My little clip that I put on my shirt is what's off. Good. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yep. We're good. So, I can already sense that he's a little wonky. So if I can get him into driving the ball, and he's messing with his teeth aren't set in yet, so they don't feel comfortable yet. When his teeth get more and more set in and he starts to get to a point where you can really ramp him up with a toy drive, I'll be taking him to tugs and doing 2 tugs and really getting him into my chest and try to basically ramp him up so we get a lot more drive state off the balls, because I'm going to need that for my reward placement. So it becomes basically fixated on the balls and on the toys. Yep. Good. Not that that hasn't been a part of his life, but we're going to emphasize that. Nope. Oh, yeah. Good. All right, so first reward placement is under the armpit. Remember what I said, there's about half a dozen of these. 4 or 5, 3 or 4, whatever it is. Okay, so I've got ball. Good boy, yes. Good boy, good. There you go. Good boy, good. There you go. Good boy, good. There you go. Good boy, good. Yeah, Bubba's. Morning, Bubba's. And a lot of building of play and love for this toy, right? Out. Good. Oh, yeah. Good. Now this will build and it'll ramp up as we go along. Remember, nope. Good. Yes. Good boy, good. There you go. Good boy, good. There you go. So first thing is to get him to love it, and then get him to understand where it's coming from and where it's going to happen. Remember, we go back to that anticipatory want. A lot of dog training is in classical conditioning, and the way we usually explain classical conditioning is things like, coming home, going to go out for a walk with your dog, and the dog gets used to it, sees the leash on the wall, knows that that's going to happen, and he ramps up, gets all happy because he knows he's going to go somewhere. Well, classical conditioning is deep in a lot of different areas, and it's a lot deeper than most people realize. Good. Yep. Good. But we basically started trying to get people to understand it. Yes, but it happens everywhere. It's the dog's understanding of what's going to happen next, right? Just that's all it is, right? Classical conditioning, and that's what you're using when we'll go back to the real understanding of how it's explained with Pavlov. A bell went off, a little light went on, and then the food would trickle down, and he'd hear that food. It's like I'm trying to do the dopamine box, and I'm dropping food in there, that sound. Right? And then boom, it would hit the tray and the dog would get to it. So he started to learn over time that what was going to happen next. And so they would do the behavior, and now they're going to increase their behavior, keep it more in, because they know what they're pushing for is what's going to happen next. That's classical conditioning. Out, and we use it. Out. Good, there you go. In a lot of 1,000 different ways, we don't even know it's happening. A lot of times most people, because they're not as in tune with it, aren't even realizing that it's happening. And they end up having problem behavior. Let's say the dog's ramping up on the mailman. They go crazy at the windows. Why does that happen? Because every day at the same basic time schedule, the mailman shows up in the neighborhood. All the dogs start going nuts. The dog knows what's happening next. Mailman finally gets to his door and goes tinkle, tinkle. Then the mail comes through the mail slot. So the dog gets ramped up and all about classical conditioning, anticipatory want. What's going to happen next? And that is really a big factor in training overall. I mean, we've got aversives, we got praise, we got toys, we got all kinds of things, but back to the psychology of the dog, classical conditioning is everything, right? Yes. It's one of your main nucleuses in dog training, right? Yes. Yes. Good. So then we get into operant conditioning and the 4 quadrants and all the other stuff, but a little more complicated to understand. So all we're doing now is starting to teach him and build anticipatory want. Ball comes out. It's the armpit. Yes, and the same thing's happen, and the same thing's gonna happen. With time, that starts to build up that anticipatory because he understands what's gonna happen next. So we start with an armpit drop, and that teaches the dog to keep their head up, but we have a lot of other little ones that we're using that we're teaching the dog to keep the head up, because that posture of the dog looking up at you and being intent on you, and that diligence to that is what really gives a lot of feeling to the dog when he's out in the field, when he's working, or when the public sees him. When the public sees your dog and he's all intent on you, they drop their jaw. They're going, wow, you know, that's what I want in my dog, right? So that focus on you and being intent on what you're doing is part of everything, right? Big boy, with me. Good boy, good guy. Good boy, good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, good boy, good. Good boy, good. Nope. Yeah. Adding in the taps. Some work to do. Quiet. I've got some work to do in building this drive state for this toy. And that's going to come with age and doing it. Good boy says, I got to go potty, Dad. I got to go potty. Yep. Good boy. You feeling better now, huh? Good boy. Good. Good. I'm kind of waiting for those teeth to come in more solid and for him to get more aggressive, because of the fact he's not really sensitive with his mouth. He's been going through teething. Out. Yes. Good boy. Good. Out. Nope. Nope. Yes. Good boy. Good. Yeah. Oh, good boy. Now I'm going to be able to start to build that. It's all about the fight and building into this want. Out. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Yeah. Good boy. Good. Yeah. Ramping him up, right? And with time, that's going to increase. Out. Yes. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Good. Yes. Mainly because of how I work the dog, what I do to build fight. Yeah. Good boy. Good. Yes. Us. Us. Good boy. Good. Yeah. Good boy. Good. Us. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Good. Us. 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 Good boy. Good. That's my boy. Out. Good. I see. Good. Ready? Good. Cushion. Nope. Good. Good boy. Cushion. Yes. Good boy. Good. Making him work harder for it. He wasn't bad on that first one, but I asked for more. And I'm emphasizing more so that he understands that he's got to do a better job, and I'll take that into other stuff because it's about work ethic, right? And we're setting that with just this start. Out. Out. Good. Yeah. Good boy. Good. Ready? Good boy. Good. Ready? Cushion. Nope. Nope. Good. Good boy. Cushion. Nope. Nope. Trying to give to him the attitude that he's got to work for it, right? And then if he doesn't do it well enough, I'll put him away. Good. Good boy. Cushion. Yes. Okay. And then that will start to set in with my behavior. When he doesn't give me what I want, he gets put away, and that's going to be something I can use in training later, right? He'll figure it out with a couple repetitions that what's happening. Then he gets put away. He's not going to like that. And then I can take that whole game of you don't do the right thing and you get put away into other stuff, right? I can start it here, right? Out. Good. You see the cops talking about that all the time. And they're doing their stuff. The dog doesn't do the right thing and just goes back to the car. Good shit. And the dog wants that bite work more than anything else. The dry state for that becomes synonymous. Especially with the dog that loves to work. Good shit. Hut. Good. Good. All right. Yep. Come on. Let's go. Good boy. boy. Cushion. Nope, nope. Good, okay? Keep working on trying to convey to him that when he doesn't do the right thing, he doesn't get what he wants, right? Good boy. Good boy. Cushion. Yes, good boy. There you go. Good boy. Good. And then when you do the right thing, boom, crescendo, right? Good boy. Good boy. And it starts with the small little subtle stuff, right? You don't even think about what I'm doing. And if you step back and you think about it, I'm setting in his work ethic, his attitude and drive states. All of that is getting set in at these early ages, these early stages of the development of the animal. And we're talking about moving to toy. It doesn't just come just because the dog's a Dutchie and he's got all kinds of drive. It just doesn't fall off the block. You got to build it. Out. Is it there? Sure, it's there. But you've got to build it to get the right work ethic and motivation in the dog, right? Good boy. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Cushion. Nope. Nope. Good. Good boy. Cushion. Yes. Now, when I was hopping, that helps him. So I'm trying to fade that out a little bit where I can start, because I'm going to. I have to fade all this stuff. All the help that you see me doing. Body language, voice tone, that little hop that you see me doing. That's all help, right? It helps the dog learn and understand the concepts I'm trying to convey to him. And with time, he'll figure it out. And then you've got to fade this stuff, because I can't always be jumping. I go out on the trial field and I'm jumping like that, right? So the action of basically the work that it takes to fade it is a lot of trainers don't like you getting into that. So that's why they talk about not doing all these little things, all these little motor movements and all the behavior that you have that is going to be something you need to fade. A lot of trainers, you'll hear about it all the time, don't like to do that. Out. Now I do, because I believe in it. Out. Because I'm going to give my dog out any help I can and any communication I can to teach him what I want to get him to learn. And so that he understands it, right? Good boy, good. Good boy. Cushion. Nope. All right, you're done. You're done. I'm going to put him away, right? Talk to you later. You're done.